Fast cars, sweaty muscles, amnesia, tanks, and family. It's what The Great Gatsby would be if he wasn't such a pussy. We saw Fast and the Furious 6, so you know what that means.
Now it's time for How Did This Get Made? We're gonna have a good time, celebrate some failure, not just be a hater, cause you know you wonder, how did this get made? Let's wallow in the mediocrity of subpar art. Perhaps we'll find the answer to the question, how did this get made?
Hello, people of Earth, and welcome to How Did This Get Made? Oh boy, we got a great show for you today. I am Paul Scheer. I'm joined as always by Jason Mantzoukas. How are you, Jason?
Oh, I'm good. How are you?
And June Diane Raphael. How are you, June?
Good. How are you, Paul?
Last year when Fast 5 came out, we did a movie with Adam Scott, and we figured that we needed to bring him back for Fast and the Furious 6. So please welcome Adam Scott. Hello, Adam.
What's up, bros?
Dude, how's it going?
Seriously though, guys, it's going great.
We're all in muscle tees, just hanging out. We've been inspired by.
We're all in our independent. We're all in different cars. We're drag racing through the streets of Los Angeles for this episode.
That's right.
Just so
Follow along on the webcast.
there's not a lot of clips for this movie because it just came out in the theater. So I'm going to play the trailer. Take a listen to the trailer.
This is what 100 million buys, huh? It wasn't that hard to find you, Toretto.
Wasn't hiding.
Last week, a team of highly coordinated drivers took down an entire military convoy. You're gonna help me catch the team responsible.
And why is that?
Been chasing this crew across 12 countries. This was taken a week ago.
It's impossible.
I need your help, Dom. I need your team.
You got the best crew in the world standing right in front of you. Give them a reason to stay.
Our target's Owen Shaw. For years, they've been running jobs in Europe, but their most recent jobs graduated them to a whole new level.
You get us close to Letty and we'll get you Shaw. And you give us full pardons all the way around.
That's the deal. Take it or leave it. Ride or die.
We're not dealing with cops, but drug dealers. I've never seen this before.
This code you live by makes you predictable. I can reach out and break you whenever I want.
You believe in ghosts?
Maybe the Letty we once knew is gone.
You don't turn your back on family, even when they do.
Guys, they got a tank. Damn.
We talking vehicular warfare.
This is not what we do.
Okay, Fast 6. Let me just get off by saying that I don't remember anything that happened in the first, in any of these movies ever.
Oh, no.
I don't remember these characters' names when the movie starts. Yet I love this movie. I look forward to these
Oh my
movies.
God.
Yeah.
And I think they're better than any other trilogy.
The minute the credit went down, I gave this movie a standing ovation. I leapt out of my seat and started clapping, and I said to my friend next to me, "That was flawless."
Yeah,
It
I have to
truly
say,
was, though.
They did the thing that Karate Kid 2 did that I just love so much, which is that the sequels don't do often enough, which is the opening credits is just a sizzle reel of the preceding movie.
Yes. Oh yes. Oh, it was highlights of past hairdos.
Yeah, it's just so. It's like they are not fucking around at all.
Basically, the movie starts with previously on Fast and the Furious,
Yeah,
essentially.
Exactly.
And they'd recap because what it's done now, and believe me, I have not seen all these movies, is just woven together all of these disparate characters from all these, and then it keeps introducing new, like The Rock didn't exist until 5, right?
Yeah, no, he's
But
brand
there's
new.
no narrative to this sizzle reel. I mean, it's
No,
just
no, there isn't.
splices. So for those of us who haven't seen any of the movies, like it's really just like here's a moment that
It might as well be. It might as well be next week on Mad Men, which is the most enigmatic nonsense I've ever seen in my life.
I do feel like the clip reel at the beginning is just showing you like proof that these people were in other movies. So you could just say like, wait, I didn't know that character was here. Like,
Oh, yeah.
no, they were here. Yeah.
Remember?
Right.
Remember, she was in a bikini. Remember, he blew this up. Everything needs to be delineated very clearly.
Right.
I sincerely, I feel like this movie also understands exactly what it is. And this one and the last one, there's like, let's just fucking go crazy. Because prove to me that these characters are not superheroes.
Yeah.
You can't. They can fight. When they fight, they literally throw people through walls. Like The Rock.
Oh, yeah.
The Rock
the amount of cement and concrete that's broken by someone pushing another person into a wall.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
And that
weird. And in this one in particular, it was actually, I have to say, I didn't, just being completely honest.
Please
because
do.
We're being honest here, right,
Yeah,
guys?
100%.
mostly.
Please.
I'm holding back like 10%.
Okay, well, we're going to break you by the end of this episode. I was a little let down. Like, I loved the last one so much, and I felt like this one, while great, it just jumped the shark just a little bit for me. Even though the movie, the whole series has been a series of shark jumping, this one brought them into a bunker with like world military leaders, and like these are drag racers.
Yeah.
It's taken it just a little, and
Well, that's the thing. Like they're drag racers, but now they're amazing fighters. Like their fight skills are
Every one of them.
Yeah,
Every one of them is now Jason Bourne on every level. Like Paul Walker literally goes, he is wanted in the United States, and part of this movie involves him just to solidify to get one piece of information, which they never use again.
Never.
He infiltrates an American jail for 24 hours.
it was crazy.
That alone could have been a movie. That entire storyline.
Confinement.
Yes. Wait, yeah, but for 24 hours.
and I will say the entire movie, if you're watching it, takes place in 4 days. It seems virtually impossible that 4 days have passed. Like, they do so much in 4 days in this movie.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Paul Walker travels from London to L.A., does 24 hours in an L.A. jail cell, comes back, and this is in the middle of the movie, so days have passed.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Right.
then he's also on top.
I mean, I do hear your point, Adam. It's like at the end of the day, these guys drive cars. Like, why did The Rock think that they were the guys, they were the team to go to essentially like stop a nuclear weapon from being
Yes.
armed?
Like a dirty tech bomb.
Yeah.
These guys are now changing world events.
Yeah,
they
You're
are.
absolutely right
Yeah,
about
they
that.
are.
Just to put it in perspective, in the first movie, they robbed a bank, I believe. So, like, that's how far they've come. That you're right. When they're in the bunker, and here we go. This is all going to be spoilers because we could talk about it out of order. When they're in the bunker with a NATO general, and then they fucking threaten a NATO general. Like,
Oh my God! When The Rock pulls a gun on that guy, I started laughing so loud. When they're basically like, "We're gonna let the world's most dangerous terrorist go so that Jordana Brewster doesn't get killed."
yeah.
Yeah,
Like
it was
like
insane.
Please kill her. Please.
Yes.
Yeah, she doesn't serve even a purpose in the films besides as being there's a lot of strong women in this movie, but she on the other side of the spectrum is so weak.
I was just gonna say Giselle, who dies in this movie, is
I cried.
spoiler.
So did Paul.
I did too.
I cried.
I cried in this movie for real when Giselle died.
Oh,
It was
Giselle's like my favorite.
It was a
Did I
beautiful
disappear?
moment.
That
It was so well
harrowing.
done. It was crazy. I mean,
Giselle
the look
and
on her
Han.
face, it will haunt me forever.
Giselle and Han. That is a love story that will take over time, right?
Wait, I do have a question though. So
Well, sorry.
no.
go ahead.
So just the basic plot of the movie, though, it was a little confusing what their stakes were because they signed on to this job to both get Michelle Rodriguez back.
I think that's the only reason.
Well, no, also to get pardoned.
Well, yeah, they were going to get pardoned.
yeah. They were
Okay,
gonna
so
get,
that
yeah,
was a part
for
of
sure.
the deal. Now, here's what was so weird about it. They had Michelle Rodriguez at arm's length a number of times in the movie.
Right.
Yes.
Full scenes with her. Like,
Yes.
why didn't Vin Diesel just take her and put her in his car?
Well, no, he didn't need to steal her. He wanted to get closure on that, but he wanted the pardons. They were there for the pardon.
Oh, see, no, they were there for her and her
No.
alone.
What?
No way. That's just. Oh my God. Because
Really?
the pardons came in after.
It's all about family.
Yeah, it's all about family. They said it like 10 million
Well,
times.
what they
It
were-
literally is.
what they got
I'm going
to-
to say something that you're going to come out. You're going to beg me to come do it, and it was Michelle Rodriguez. Now, why would anybody want that? Who knows?
But when they were around that table in that other bunker, in their London bunker, that seemed to be on like the 50th floor of a building.
Yes,
yet cars,
but
cars were in there
Yeah,
nonstop,
easily.
always, in giant cars.
Yep.
I felt like they were all around the table, and he was like, "What does it take?" And he's like, "Full pardons." And The Rock was like,
Okay. No. Paul Walker suggested that.
Oh, okay.
Paul
So-
Walker,
so
and then
Vin Diesel's-
then Vin was like, "I'm in, but this is on me. You guys don't have to do this."
Got
then
it.
they come in and they're like, "But we want pardons," and then he's like, "We can't do that," and then they fight for pardons and get them. Blah,
Okay.
whatever.
By
That
the
was
way, can I just make the point that they're fighting for full pardons for the whole movie? When we find them at the beginning of the movie, they're all living these incredible, luxurious
Why would they ever want to
lives.
leave?
Because
They're
they
like-
want to live in Queens.
Yeah, well, no, they
no,
wanna live-
where? In
East
East
LA.
LA.
They
Sorry,
They want to
sorry.
live in the shittiest dump.
Shithole.
And they're in Rio. It's like this beautiful. It's like
Here's
out of
here's what's very strange about it too. It's like you sort of get the sense that they'd rather live in East LA if they could be together. But my question is, why couldn't they be together before in a luxurious
Right.
place?
Who knows?
But here's what I'm saying too. This is why this movie is so successful, because it's like, fuck all that rich
Yeah.
shit. I want to be back in my hood,
Yeah.
drinking Corona,
Yep.
Right.
fucking
So
eating
much
barbecue.
Corona
yeah,
and
so
Heinz.
much.
Corona.
So much Corona and Heinz.
Light.
And Nas, or Nas, whatever that energy drink and car. Because also, isn't that an energy drink that is based on a car like thing?
Oh, is that because I just
Like,
thought it was
revs
the
up the
chemical for the car, but
It
they
is,
make an energy drink.
But it's an energy drink as well.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I've never
so
seen that.
It's both.
Oh my God, that's really funny.
Wait, is it an energy drink based on the fictional chemical that they invented in that first Fast and the Furious movie?
Oh, is that what this is? Is it not a real thing?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, Nas is just isn't it nitrous
Are we
oxide?
men? Are we real men? I mean, like,
look,
are we
if we-
really?
Answers no.
I mean,
Vin-
for real, this
Vin
is
Diesel,
embarrassing.
This movie posits that Vin Diesel wakes up in the morning shirtless and goes outside and just starts working on an engine.
Yep.
Just like he's not even in a garage. He's just out like on a patio.
On a
just,
porch in like Sardinia or
Yeah, like-
someplace,
yeah.
like working on a Mustang engine.
He's in a carless village on an island.
Guys, he's amazing in this movie.
He's
He's
awesome.
amazing.
By the way-
Unbelievable performance.
He's wonderful. I mean,
Did anyone
he's
else notice
wonderful.
that he shaves his armpits?
What's
no,
that now?
I didn't.
How's
I
that?
didn't.
I mean, either he shaves his armpits or he does not grow hair under his arms. I was just like, is that a thing for like big dudes? They
Oh yeah,
shave their armpits?
I think that's the idea. Is that you like a lot of bodybuilders don't have hair there.
Yeah, they don't have hair anywhere.
Yeah, so I think.
Ooh, tell me more.
I think they all shave it straight down.
But I would also.
The Rock is like hairless. He doesn't have hair on his arms or anything.
I would
In
posit.
an effort to
Look
show
like-
off your muscles?
Yeah,
more?
exactly.
Accentuate
Accentuate your body.
Your
Sure,
yeah.
sure.
I mean, I would also posit that hair is afraid to grow on Vin Diesel's body.
Yeah.
The story between these Hobbs and Dom, is unbelievable. It is a story for the ages.
Oh my
a
God.
love.
Although I will say, too,
You want to see
I
them
thought,
fucking seven? Like
Yes.
it would be a brutal fuck
I
scene.
also
But
thought, though, that his scenes with Michelle Rodriguez, Vin Diesel and Michelle Rodriguez, were electric.
No.
Yes, I
oh,
thought they were
see?
wonderful.
Oh, really?
I didn't really.
I thought they were wonderful.
I didn't really.
No, I wasn't
kept
into it.
Are you
neither was I.
serious?
Yeah, I thought they were. I was like, I don't want to see these two touch each other at
Yeah.
all.
Me either.
well, she didn't have anything. like I don't know that it's like an issue that I feel like she's so tough girl that she can't let that Vin Diesel charm break through.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But that's what's so great about it.
See, my
Really?
part of the problem
Yeah.
for me is I don't think I saw the movie where they were in love, so I don't have
Right.
any connection to it. I'm so much more connected to the Brazilian police lady.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I
I
kept
love
being
her
like,
too.
"Where is she? Are we forsaking her?" And then she shows up at the end, and in fact, we are forsaking her.
Well,
How dare you, Vin Diesel?
But by the way, just because she was not in this movie doesn't mean she will not be a huge part in the next
Oh,
film.
she absolutely could
Please
be.
tell me Giselle's going to come back to life.
Oh,
in
she's
some
gotta
way.
be.
No
She's
one
got
dies.
to.
No one
Nobody ever
dies.
dies.
I can't accept that she's
Even
gone.
the people who died, like Michelle Rodriguez, I believe. Well, she died once or twice. Like people die in this movie and come back. Like they really.
Michelle Rodriguez, this was like the resurrection. This was
Oh,
a
yeah.
huge
Oh, wow.
thing. Because it's now been like 4 movies since she was alive. I
Well,
think.
never mind the fact that this. We talked about this last time. That these movies are prequels to Tokyo Drift.
Is that
and that's why
right?
the post-credit sequence takes. Post-credit sequence, by the way,
Guys,
the best.
Amazing.
I
part of the
literally
movie.
freaked out when
I
this
was
happened.
like, yeah!
I was freaking out when this happened. I was already standing.
I was so
already
excited.
standing. And okay, so what happened? Okay.
Well, like, just
okay.
set the
Go ahead.
stage.
Okay, go ahead.
So Tokyo Drift obviously takes place in the future.
I have not seen Tokyo
Neither
Drift.
No,
have
I kind of
Me
want
neither.
to.
Why does that take? Why? How do you know that it's these are all prequels?
Well,
to
because from what I did a little research, but it is a prequel. Like when that movie started, it was like in 2000, it was like 2015 or something. Like they just pushed it forward, I think, to protect Dom and so basically,
got it.
So I think that they just kind of moved it forward so they could kind of
So
do
it's
exactly
kind of
what
like
they're doing.
what they did with the Bourne movie. They just created a side character,
Exactly.
sideways character, and allowed for if Matt Damon. Okay, got it.
And so basically, in that movie, they introduce Han and all these characters. So that's why in the last couple of films, or the last movie, when Han was there, Giselle says to him, like, where do you want to go? Or don't you want to go to Tokyo? And he's like, yeah, we'll get there. The reason why he's like, we'll get there is because he's going to fucking die. They had to prolong him from dying. So that's why she's like, you always wanted to go to Tokyo. So they were
Wait,
pushing
so
off
does
Tokyo.
he die in Tokyo Drift?
Yes,
he
he's
dies
dead.
in that credit sequence.
No, I know.
But no, but he's been like that. So everyone who saw Fast and Furious 3 Tokyo Drift, he's dead. That's why everyone's like, whoa, why is he back?
What? Wait, okay, but we don't. And this is where
We need to watch all of them.
It's shame on us, and I'm sure the message boards are going to be like, "You fucking assholes! How can you talk about this movie you don't know about?"
I would argue
I don't like you guys.
By the way, when that happened in the post credit sequence, I literally thought Justin Lin must listen to How Did This Get Made?
The only thing
that was perfection.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Perfect.
The only thing that would have been better. Well, we'll tell you what happens.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, I just want to go.
So Han, when they cut back into Tokyo Drift, Han's car flips and he was hit by another car. You don't know who is in. You just in the movie you saw he got hit by another car, but they reveal the alternate version of the scene, which is the guy who hit him is
Jason Statham.
fucking Jason.
my
Statham.
Are you kidding? Chev Chelios.
Best.
Chev Chelios is up in this piece.
He fucking
What?
And and then you understand what Seven's going to be about. This is what I.
As far as I'm concerned, he is Chev Chelios in Seven.
He has to.
I
be.
think he's Chev
What?
Chelios. I'm spreading that rumor right now. Jason Statham is playing Chev Chelios in the next movie.
It would be basically this
Spread
is
that rumor, internet.
this is what I think. My 2 cents is this. He is Shaw's brother. Shaw's the bad guy in Fast 6. And he is now going to avenge his brother's death. I love that idea because he kills Han and then boom, immediately gets on a phone. And everyone in this movie, the minute they pick up a phone, everyone's
there.
They've picked up, they've answered. There's no going to voicemail in this
And
world.
there's no greetings. There's not any.
Yeah.
At one point, one of the guys in this just picks up a phone and starts listening to the other person talk.
Yeah.
He doesn't say hello. He doesn't do anything. It's
And Tyrese picks up a phone while he's flying in a jet.
In a jet, and it has
Guys,
perfect connection.
Since we just brought him up, can we talk about how amazing Tyrese is?
Tyrese,
Tyrese.
flawless.
Pretty
Well,
amazing.
everybody's
Nailing it.
performance.
Ludacris, nailing it.
Ludacris.
Left,
Over.
Chris
Oh,
Bridges,
right.
guys. Chris Bridges.
The comedy plays nice and good in this movie.
Beautiful.
So
my
good.
God.
So
Can I talk
good.
about a comedy bit that have to believe was on purpose, but have a suspicion that it wasn't. But
okay, yes, please. I think I know what
I
you
thought
mean.
it played perfectly. It was like a classic, like, what is the rule of three in comedy or
Yes.
whatever?
Yeah.
Like when the photo of Michelle Rodriguez, when they first show it to Vin Diesel, he has like almost zero reaction to it. But we as an audience know what is supposed to be going on. So we keep. The second time they show it, it's to Paul Walker. The reaction is almost nothing. But then the third time is extra spectacular because they throw it on the table in front of everyone, and no one has a reaction to it. It was like
as if everybody in the movie was like, "Do we really need to have her back?"
But then,
Right.
then Michelle Rodriguez picks up the photo and has a little reaction to it herself.
Okay,
She's
right.
looking at herself.
Did everybody feel like throughout the movie? Okay, so in the movie, Michelle Rodriguez's character has amnesia.
Amnesia.
That is how she's able to. Because in the film, what we have not even talked about the plot of this movie.
Oh, no.
And I couldn't give a shit. But rest assured, this movie is about our team goes up against another team
That looks identical to it.
yes, they have doppelgangers, and that
Bizarro
was a
Fast
funny.
Five.
That was a
They
funny
call
moment
out and it's
when
amazing.
Tyrese is like,
Yeah.
"This is this guy,
Yeah.
and this is that guy." I love that. Anyway,
Tyrese is a star.
Tyrese
is a star.
oh my God,
Tyrese is the best.
Tyrese is great in a supporting role.
They
Unstoppable.
also
Unstoppable.
have an identical computer system in their hideout.
But what I loved was, in order to justify that Michelle Rodriguez is on the enemy team, she has amnesia. But did anybody else keep feeling like she kept getting hit in the head and stuff? Did you ever feel like, her memories must be back now?
I thought for sure she was going to get her
Totally.
memory back.
I thought every time something big happened, she would now be like, "I remember everything. I love
Right.
you." Every time the movie ends and he goes, one of the last lines of the movie is Vin Diesel says to her, "Do you remember any of this? They're back in their home. Do you remember any of this?" And she goes, "Nope."
There's a weird
I was like, this is so unsatisfying.
But she also says nope, but it feels like home.
Yeah.
It was,
But like, what does that? Well, what does that mean?
Oh
though?
my God.
Yeah.
Who knows?
There is.
That was really weird.
And by the way, they're fucking having this party. Meanwhile, Han is like, Glove is dead, and he's like sitting on the street drinking a beer, looking so
They
depressed.
are so happy. They are so happy that they got Mia back.
Yeah.
They're all celebrating. This dude's girlfriend just died.
First of all, they did do a toast to those who have passed.
No, but they didn't say her name.
But I'm assuming Giselle was a part of that.
No, but you see, that they said like they did a toast at the end, and it was like, we got her back, we did this, but they should have said, and the person who's been with us
Yes.
for the last fucking 3 movies, cheers to her.
Yeah.
She died
Because
a
she
day
was
ago.
awesome and was way more useful than Mia. Because Mia never does
Does
anything. And this girl can shoot. She is a badass. She's like a model. What is happening? Walk away from this disaster.
I thought, and I wish, I was like, kill Jordana Brewster and just save the kid, because the kid will grow up and that will be another Fast and the Furious movie, and eventually you have 18 years for that one to come out. But the mom.
Yeah. By the way, the kid, they have this runner in the movie about how fighting over which toy car to give the kid.
Yeah.
And the kid is literally 4 months old.
By the way, that was a different baby every scene.
Really?
No, for sure.
Right, Adam? That was a different child.
Yeah. But like this is an infant who has no idea what any of you are talking about. Like,
No.
Oh, yeah.
Why have this why not have him be 2 years old and then he can at least grab
Choose,
the car?
yeah.
That is. I mean, also, why were they? Well, I mean, look, there's a car guys. Look, they're car guys, and that's
into
the most.
But
important
this is
thing.
the question I have about the team. Now, I have only seen one other of the Fast movies,
Yeah.
but I couldn't tell what their specific skills were.
Normally, it was all driving. They don't have. It's not
So
like
it's not like a team
not
who like
Ocean's
this person
11.
does that and that person
Only
does
it's
that.
a little bit.
Ludacris is like
Ludacris is like the
tech
computer
guy.
guy.
but the rest are all I mean, as
Yeah.
we were introduced to them,
Yes.
all drivers.
Yes.
They were not like they were never like Vin Diesel was never like I'm a driver and I'm an amazing kickboxer.
Those Brazilian guys in the last movie, they seem to be like demolition guys or something.
Oh right, they didn't bring back those guys.
They didn't bring those guys back. I don't know why.
Why? Though
they
love
said
those
it.
guys.
They referenced them and said, "How come so and so and so and so aren't here?" And somebody said, "Well, they got mixed up in some underground gambling thing in Monte Carlo or something."
Okay.
And that was their justification.
They couldn't have 15 people in the main cast.
When they got their pardons and they went back to East LA, did they lose all their money?
I
no, they don't
thank
need
God.
all that money. They don't need what their happiness is about having a barbecue in the States, not a barbecue in Sardinia.
Oh my God.
And even with all that money, they're still going to live in that little shitty house.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And all of them.
$14.93 or whatever the number was.
Can we just talk about we touched on it briefly, but so Paul Walker. I don't even understand why necessarily he has to go to this prison and infiltrate.
He gets no information out of it.
None.
By the way, when he comes back and he's like, "All right, I did this. I talked to the guy. Here's what he said," and Vin Diesel goes, "Whatever you found is for you.
Yes.
What we're doing is for her."
Yeah.
And it's like, well, wait a second. Hold on.
Well, because that
made no sense to me.
because
It
that
was
was
like-
for us though. That was for.
But no, but why would he lose his number 2 guy for our 24 hours plus 9 for 2 days for 48 hours?
There should have been a scene where he was like, "Hey man, whatever the reason is you're going, it's for you. I don't want you to. The mission is more important. You're being a selfish dick."
Yeah. And by the way, I didn't even understand. So basically, the movie puts forth the idea, and this is even crazier, that Vin Diesel's girlfriend Letty, who's Michelle Rodriguez. And after the first movie, she's kind of become good now. She's not bad. Then she starts working for Paul Walker, who is still a cop at that point.
She goes undercover to infiltrate a Mexican cartel.
But she was also a bad person in the first movie. So now she's like a deputized cop who's now going undercover, which, okay. And so basically he put her in harm's way because this guy Shaw has been behind it since the beginning.
He's been the bad guy forever.
All time.
For all time.
He is bad guy.
I didn't catch that. So this guy Shaw has actually been pulling the strings for a long time.
That's correct.
We believe so.
But he wasn't pulling the strings on our team for the long time.
Oh yeah, no. They're strangers to him at this movie.
But they had their paths had crossed, and he was responsible for Michelle Rodriguez's death because Shaw was working with that drug lord that Paul Walker put in jail.
Oh right.
So
okay,
it's like a Jenga puzzle. On one piece comes out and the whole thing falls.
I
apart.
The
will
crazy
say
thing
that-
about that drug lord too is that he tells the story of what happened to Michelle Rodriguez so easily. He's like, "Well, you're gonna die anyway, so I might as well tell you," and then launches into a 5-minute
But by
monologue.
the way,
even
though he launches into
a
it,
huge monologue.
But
that makes no sense.
he just wanted to tell the story.
But
Yeah.
why not? But my question is why wouldn't you tell him that? You're already in jail for life. So why wouldn't you tell this story? Why were you holding that close to your vest?
Why do you need it, Paul Walker? Why do you need to know any of this? None of the information that Paul Walker gets is brought to bear on the mission or the characters as it moves forward in the movie. It is a complete digression for no reason.
The only thing I was gonna say though is I wish. There was one point where he's like, "I'm going back to L.A. I'm gonna go and find this guy." And they're like, "How can you go back to L.A.? You're a wanted man." And I was like, please let the next scene be of him in a dress in a fucking crazy
Oh my
disguise,
God.
Medea style. And there was a part of me that's like, I feel like there's a 40% chance that he'll be wearing a mustache or something. Unfortunately, no. He just. Was
I did like Shea Wiggum though. I always like Shea
great.
Wiggum in a movie.
I would argue,
he's
though,
always
that
great.
we needed to know that about Letty because then now we really want her to get back with the family because now we know that she's totally clean.
I do. You know what? I could have given a shit. I really didn't care about Michelle. I was like, hey guys, I would rather you go after the international terrorists. Letty is kind of a Letty down. Nailed it.
I nailed it.
Wow. Well, maybe they did that
How long have we been going? How long did it take me to get there? 20, 25 minutes?
25 minutes.
All right,
25
good.
minutes.
Maybe the whole thing about her not remembering at the end of the movie is their justification for her being a bad guy, essentially,
In the next movie?
Which she's all maybe
Oh.
her memory's been erased, so now she's just a pure good guy.
Okay, you know what would
that
be
makes sense.
That's interesting, but what would be more interesting to me is if now she is undercover for Shaw.
Yes.
With our guy.
Well,
Fuck,
I
don't
thought
say
because that.
Don't say that.
what
Shaw
say it.
Shaw
Oh my God,
didn't
the
even have
look
a
on June's
satisfying
face
death.
is so sad
Sean-
at that idea.
Sean was not a satisfying villain. Did you say? Were you saying that, Adam?
No, I was saying, well, he wasn't the greatest villain, but I didn't think he had like a satisfying death.
No, not at
I
all.
didn't even see him
No,
die.
June ducked.
Oh, I
like
missed
she
it.
went to
I
go
went
make
to,
a
like,
note.
tie my shoe.
She went to write a note, and at the best part of the movie, which was
The tank jumping out of the plane?
No,
Or
the
thing?
human headbutt where like the Rock
Oh my God.
did that fucking
I missed
in
it.
midair
Yeah.
headbutt. I can't even describe to you what I saw,
Guys,
but it was
Okay,
action
no, we have not
sequences? We
talked
haven't talked about the
we have
action
not
sequences.
talked about when Vin Diesel jumped
Yes.
into the air
Yep.
off of a moving
car.
over a bridge.
Over a bridge.
bridge.
Caught. Yep.
Michelle Rodriguez,
Who
had
was
also been
launched
thrown
off
out
of
a
her
tank.
own car.
No, a
A tank,
at
sorry.
that
She'd been launched off of a tank.
caught her in midair.
Redirected them both like
Somehow.
Superman.
Yeah.
They are superheroes.
They- and
they
then
can
that
fly.
They
They have-
crashed onto a
Amazing.
car and both walked away like, whew. Can you believe that?
What if the next movie is them versus the Avengers?
Fuck yeah.
I would, Avengers
I'd
2,
put my
that would
money
be
on them.
amazing.
If I swear to God, if Neville Dean and Taylor do not direct the next one of these movies, I will be furious. Although actually, Justin Lin is
dropped
better.
out.
He's
He dropped
amazing.
out.
He did?
He's not. He did his 3 movies. And he's like, I'm moving on.
I get it. I will say this: there is almost nobody working in action right now who is as good as this guy at constructing action sequences.
Yeah.
These were phenomenal.
Yeah, they're
the,
great.
It's the only movie where, like, again, Paul Walker goes to prison for no real reason, and that fight sequence is awesome too. Like, everything is great.
I
Yeah.
think the fight sequence in the jail was my favorite sequence in the movie.
So
it was
good.
awesome.
I mean, that's the other thing about this movie. Like, I was talking to a friend yesterday, and he's like, I don't want to see that movie because I don't like car chases. Like, that's
go of
1/4 of what
yeah.
you're getting.
Oh, I also love the fight between. Wait, was there a guy? Was the Asian guy on the bad guy team who like kicked the shit out of Tyrese?
Oh,
and
yeah, he was
Han?
great.
Was he
Yeah.
from the Raid Redemption? No, right? He wasn't one of those guys,
I'll
was he?
check right now.
Because at a certain point he was fighting, and his fight style, I was like, "Ooh, is he that guy from that movie?" Because there was fight scenes, and that
subway
sequence in the
fight scene-
subway
Oh.
was where Han and Tyrese both just are getting their asses handed to them. I thought it was
great.
both a great fight scene and really funny.
Yeah, it was that was awesome.
And the fight scene between Michelle Rodriguez and the other woman was amazing in the subway.
Oh,
That
she
was
was
an
great.
amazing-
That was great.
Well, that was the woman from Haywire. All right.
Oh yeah.
Haywire. Forget her name, but
Gina Carino.
Gina
or something.
Carino.
Yes.
Gina Carano.
So she's like a real life stunt person, like on American Gladiators, and now she's in this movie as The Rock's partner. And guys, guess what? I fell for it big time.
yeah, she
Yeah.
kicks butt.
She kicks butt, but she's a fucking undercover bad guy.
What? She's a traitor.
She's a fucking
She's
traitor.
She's a mole.
I loved her.
Paul was so shocked.
Were you guys
Guys,
shocked?
I saw it
was-
a mile away.
Oh, you did?
A mile away.
I was shocked. I assumed at a certain point there was a mole, but I didn't think it was gonna be her.
I thought it was Michelle Rodriguez.
I thought that too at one point.
I like she is evil, and she's going to be the villain in the
I
next.
do want to
movie.
know,
That's
like,
what I
how
think they wanted, which is why he says, "Come on, honey." You know, I think everybody was supposed to think it was Michelle Rodriguez, and
That was a
instead
great
it's
moment.
oh my god,
That
so
was a
great!
great moment.
I fucking came in my pants.
Did you see
I
it
do-
coming, Adam?
I did not see it coming, but I have to say, like, with all of these actors, as awesome as they are in these movies, they can play around with moles and stuff like that because no one is playing more than one thing at the same time
Yeah.
anyway. So do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't mean that in a bad way. Like, I could watch all of them for hours.
Yep.
I really could.
Just pursue singular wants
But you could
without
you could
complexity.
story-wise, make them all moles, and no one would know because there's
Right.
no, do you know what I mean?
Yes.
I do, but I would say that.
Hey,
that
are you
Vin-
still pitching that All Moles movie?
Yeah, it's called The Moles.
I would
If they're
say
all
that
moles, that would be the
Oh,
great. at the
everybody's
end,
selling
everybody
everybody
would-
out.
Vin Diesel's performance, I think, is more complex than you're allowing, Adam. I really
Oh,
do.
it is not.
Yeah, I
It is
think
based
that-
essentially on a cadence.
It is.
Can I want to play this is like when The Rock comes to Vin Diesel for help. Just to play, why not just hear some Vin Diesel Rock? Because what I love about this interaction too is there should be more of a punchiness to it. But they're like they almost feel like we don't need to punch this up. We're just gonna let it sit. So here, take a listen.
I'm gonna need everything. All the info you got.
You'll get it when the team gets it.
No team. This is gonna have to be me alone.
It's not that simple. The crew we're after, they hit like thunder and disappear like smoke. You going alone? You won't ever touch them. Been chasing this guy across 4 continents and 12 countries, and believe me, the last damn place I want to be right now is on your front doorstep selling Girl Scout cookies. I need your help, Dom.
Wait, Jason.
What happened?
That is the most exposition you get. There's another exposition.
They are
moment,
talking so slowly.
so slow.
That was my big problem with Vin Diesel in this movie. Is I felt like it was impossibly slow.
Yes, it was. It's almost as if he's discovered, like, no, my thing is very measured.
Yes.
Speech cadence.
Yes. By the way, the scene where he's with Michelle Rodriguez and then Shaw comes up, drives
Yes.
up.
Love that
Like
scene.
in the empty
Love that
after
scene.
the street race.
And they show each other their scars.
Yeah.
Where it's a very Lethal Weapon
But
3.
we haven't even spoken about. There's a full music video before that street.
Wait, it's an underground street race that looks like exactly like it's an outdoor DJ dance party.
The amount of production put in there, they had to be working during the day to set up that.
Oh, yeah.
So like, with no cop at any point who'd walk around. Hey, what's going on here later tonight? Because it's also not like in a bad area. It's in that it's near Piccadilly Circus. It's like it's like
Piccadilly
Times Square.
Circus.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's it's fully lit and super loud.
Oh, yeah.
And it's apparently
Really
this
glossy.
underground criminal race.
And by the way, the race that goes on, and there's no real judges of who is winning or who's not. It's
Because
just-
when they end the race, they're in an empty, dark parking lot, like miles away.
Yeah, and I guess
Taking their pants off to show each other their gross scars.
I love that scar scene.
And then
But when Shaw and he then have a bit of a verbal showdown, and then Shaw leaves.
Yes.
And then Vin Diesel, the first thing he says to somebody, the next thing he says is, "Well, this just got me one step closer to Shaw." And it's like, yeah, he was right. You guys were just talking.
Yeah. But remember,
and he was
closer.
just
You guys were just having
And
like a
he was just-
7-minute conversation.
he was just talking to Michelle Rodriguez too. who
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
right there.
And then they both just drive away.
yeah. Did anybody else realize at a certain point in this movie, I was like, the civilian death toll so
in the
far
thousands.
in car accidents must be it must be thousands of people have died by now.
Well, yes.
Oh, God.
In the last movie, when they took that safe down the street
Yes.
and it was like ripping through storefronts, like this one, I tell you who I felt bad for, the civilians I felt bad for. At the end of the movie, the whole climax takes place in a gigantic cargo plane. And there's some Russian pilots that are flying that. They didn't do anything wrong. They're just flying a plane.
Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
guys got
I
burnt up.
they're
did
dead
sort of.
now.
I did sort of want that plane to take off.
By the way,
Me too.
that fucking
Right?
runway, that runway must have been 50 miles because there's like a 30-minute sequence where the plane is just taxing forward, never
And then,
turns.
Right, and then there's a 15-minute sequence where the plane's like 30 feet off the ground.
And then it comes back down.
Yeah.
Then the plane comes back down, lands, so much so that they can drive out of it. There's so much. The plane is up, it's down, it's up, it's down, and all that happens in between is the good guys keep shooting arrows. They all have hydraulic powered arrows or whatever that Nas substance is, and they're shooting arrows into the wings of the plane, attaching their cars to it to ensure their own deaths should the plane take off. They are only guaranteeing they themselves are casualties.
There is literally a moment in the movie where every car is attached to a plane. Like everybody is attached to the plane.
Like somehow they've had time to build like pneumatic powered spear guns for everybody on the team. Like
By the way, when they introduce that spear gun, it shows the spear go through concrete and attach itself on the other side of this concrete wall.
Right.
And I think it's Tyrese who says, what are you going to hunt, Moby Dick? I was just kind of like, all right, you guys could sit down for 7 minutes and come up with a better joke than that.
No, because they hit the forehead joke. They went to that
they
well.
really went after Tyrese.
That was clearly an improvised thing that like Ludacris is like, oh, I think I'm gonna make fun that Tyrese has a big forehead, which he doesn't. I don't think, right?
No.
Well, he's bald, so.
Oh, that's his big forehead.
Yeah, I think that's
everyone in this movie is bald. By the way,
nobody
The Rock
except for
is
Paul
bald.
Walker.
Yeah.
Paul Walker's the only person with hair in this movie.
It's so weird. Everyone's so cleanly shaven over their entire head.
What is the deal? Why is
at the end, I just wish there at the end of the movie, you think that Vin Diesel might have died. And he comes out of the fire, and all I wanted to see was his eyebrows burnt off, like when he walks out of the fire. Just, I think that would have been a great ending.
He literally walks away from the wreckage of like a 3-story airplane that is on fire.
Oh, but before that happens,
he's walking through it. His body would be in flame.
You couldn't walk 20 feet, or 100 feet near it. Never mind through the middle of it.
But before that happens, he drives a car that's engulfed in flames out of the airplane.
Yes.
Which is like the best shot of the movie.
Yeah, basically it's saying that the nose structure of a gigantic cargo plane is so weak, like balsa wood, that you could easily just drive a small car out, not a tank.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, there are tanks in this movie.
Holy shit, that was an awesome... I wish that hadn't been in the trailer, because that moment where it's like a transport truck, and then you don't know what, but the guys are after it, and this, that, and the other, and then all of a sudden, the transport truck rips apart, and they drive a tank, and the bad guys drive a tank out of it. I was like, this is fucking great.
It was great. I loved that sequence, and it was in broad daylight, too. Like, I loved the last sequence with the airplane was awesome, but it was at night, so it wasn't quite... I mean, it was great. But I'm kind of with June. I wanted that plane to go.
Yeah.
I wanted it to really take off and have them, deal with being, 3,000 feet up in the air.
Drive cars in outer space.
I do feel like they would...
They would be able to do it.
They would be able to do it.
Yeah.
They could jump that car out, and it would be amazing. We got to take a quick break. We will be right back. Okay, we're back. All right.
I'll tell you what. For the first time, I didn't take a goddamn note in this movie because I was just mouth agape, loving every stupid minute of it. Every time The Rock, the moment at the end of the movie where The Rock and Vin Diesel have their final kind of like moment, and like they are emotional, like almost. But the way that they do it is they step to each other first.
Oh my God, this is crazy.
This is so crazy. They step to each other first, and then Vin Diesel says, I never thought I'd trust a cop, right?
Right.
And then The Rock takes a step towards Vin Diesel, but to the side of him. So now
they're in profile.
Their heads are next to each other, but they will not make eye contact with each other in case they kiss. So they just are staring each behind the other person, and Vin Diesel and The Rock goes, "I never thought I'd trust a criminal." And I was like, this is the craziest. They are just standing side by side, not making eye contact.
And by the way, and that was an amazing shot, Justin Lin, because The Rock's head is so much bigger than Vin Diesel's head. It's almost odd. Like these two, it was amazing.
The physicality of everybody in this movie, the fight between Shaw and I actually did like Shaw. I thought he was a good kind of bad guy. He wasn't great, but he was. I thought he was
functional.
I liked that he was like a military guy. I liked that he wasn't just another crook or a cop who was after them. I liked that he was like a true like terroristy bad guy, I guess.
Yeah. What did he want to do? Like what was his
He was
end
selling
game?
bad guys. He was like a black marketeer.
He was going to set the power switch that could shut down a country. That's what he was selling.
It was cool that he was culturally, like everything about him was totally different than our heroes.
I agree with that.
If I may bring up one thing though about this movie, and it has to do with the story, and I loved it so much, but I felt like there were a couple times where, and especially that last scene, the profile scene between The Rock and Vin Diesel, I sort of felt like, oh, is this what the whole movie was about? Like, is this what this story is about. And it really wasn't, because they trusted each other implicitly, it seemed, the whole time.
From the start,
From the get-go.
Oh, no, we
And then a
clearly
couple
trusted
times-
him because he came to him and said, hey, you need to help me.
No, it's not true. That's not
Jason.
true, because Hobbs put a tracker on Vin Diesel's car, and Vin Diesel didn't know about it. But then it turns out Vin Diesel did know about it. So I think, I think Hobbs
But I didn't
trusted
think
him
that's why
only
he
so
was-
far.
I think he put the tracker on him, though, to keep him safe, as opposed to, like, he thought he was...
I don't know. I don't think. I think Hobbs and he had an agreement. I don't think they trusted each other until the end. Then they earned each other's trust.
I gotta say, I thought The Rock was fucking awesome in this movie.
I can fucking I want to spin
love
off
The
of
Rock.
that Hobbs character. I
Forever.
love
Forever.
that character.
He was like, I think it's also, I just saw Pain and Gain, so I'm like so psyched about The Rock.
I love The Rock.
Dude, no, I know, and I always have, and
You gotta get him for your
it.
Moles movie, man.
Yeah, he's gonna be the star of The Moles.
A head mole?
But his whole thing about whenever he referred to Gina Carano or whatever, he kept calling her woman. Was that like a thing from the last movie that I don't remember, that he was like
Maybe,
that?
I think he didn't remember her name. No.
I liked that they kept making I liked that whenever he entered, they made a joke about how he oils up his muscles. Like he came in once and Ludacris or Tyrese
Smells like baby oil.
it smells like baby oil. Like they were teasing. Like in this movie, Ludacris and Tyrese were the comedic relief. They were always the pranksters and the jokesters, like Casey Affleck in the and what's his name?
I read an article and it was actually really funny. They said that everyone in this movie is Casey Affleck from Ocean's 11.
Guys, the size of The Rock's neck.
Yeah. It's like your waist.
Crazy.
But the thing that I
It's
love
like
about
a real person's waist.
The thing that's why I say, when you see his head in contrast to Vin Diesel, who's also a big man, he makes Vin Diesel look like a small man. But what I love, the choice I love about The Rock is he's always walking.
Yeah.
Like he was always never,
He's
never
always
stopped
in motion.
moving. Like he never was not. Like,
And his truck is bigger than he is. Like he appears to be
His
like
truck
Hagrid.
is a building. He's a building.
Yes, he's a gigantic. He cannot.
gigantic
He's a
building.
and the only person that's bigger than him is the guy he squares off against.
Yes.
the guy on the other team who is their big Hulk.
Oh, the Aryan guy. Yeah.
Which made me, I wrote down this note here. Does The Rock have a stunt double? And if so, I would like to see that guy.
Oh, that's
because that
interesting.
guy's got to be fucking
I think
giant.
he definitely doesn't.
You don't think he has a stunt double?
He must.
No, I don't think
He
so.
has to.
So you think when they're lighting rock scenes, there's somebody like standing on apple
Here's my
boxes
theory.
or something?
I think when you work on this movie with these people, with this, this is, I think the other thing that really comes through in this movie is there's an authenticity to these. I'm dead
What
serious.
is happening?
You feel like these people are a little hard and they come from, like, they know this world. I feel that.
I don't know.
Are you serious? I feel
don't
like
know.
I feel like there's so much machismo on set. I feel like all these guys are doing their own stuff.
I feel like this is what the movie is
No
like.
way.
They're like, all right, guys, we're gonna call action in 5 minutes, but everyone can do your push-ups now. And I feel like there's like a big push-up circle before every scene.
Dude, when I worked on Torque, I may have said this in the last podcast, but when I worked on Torque, we would be doing these scenes where it was like 12 people, and a lot of those dudes would do curls right before.
Oh my God!
Because they had like oiled up, like sleeveless T-shirts, and they were all oiled up and stuff, and they would do curls before action.
Well, to me, I feel like The Rock is, not only is he oiled up and ready to go, but he has also got a size shirt that's like a woman. What do they call those shirts like for girls? They're like baby tees.
tee?
He's like wearing a baby tee version of his shirt, and so is Vin Diesel. There's no flex on these undershirts.
I swear they must have to be cut out of these shirts. There is no way they can get them off.
Well, The Rock just every night just rips off the shirt and goes to bed.
I mean, The Rock in this movie looks like more.
He looks
jacked
bigger than
I've
ever.
ever seen.
Oh my God! It's so
crazy.
unsettling to watch him in juxtaposition to people. It's crazy.
Is he this jacked up in Pain and Gain?
Maybe he was just dressed differently, or so. I don't know. In this, I thought he looked
giant.
even more than Pain and Gain.
I mean, because he really does look like a Hulk. There's a really funny joke. I laughed really hard at it when Ludacris gets a phone call from The Rock and it just says Samoan Thor.
Yeah,
That really made
I thought
me
that was
laugh.
really funny.
Wait, Paul, have you not seen Pain and Gain?
Not yet. I was away when it came out, and I have not been back.
Jesus Christ!
I know.
Have you guys.
I have not seen it.
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh my God, you guys, what are you doing?
Adam, we are so sorry.
By the way, just while we were talking about The Rock, I want to talk about this fight where The Rock goes in to interrogate some guy in the first scene of the movie.
A guy that looks just like Vin Diesel?
Yes, that's like you think like The Rock is gonna he caught Vin Diesel, even though that doesn't really work because you already established that Vin Diesel's like not doing crime anymore. But he beats the fuck out of this guy. But throws him around like
the guy
a rag doll.
Should be dead.
Like
he should be dead.
Like into the ceiling, into the walls, and the room. When he walks out of it, it looks like an earthquake happened. I'm not exaggerating.
Yeah.
It looks like lamps are hanging, or like the lights are hanging.
Walls are cracked.
Walls are cracked.
The table is like the metal table is in like splinters.
Yes, and this is not a man who fought back either.
No.
This is just
No,
The
it's
Rock
like a-
literally throwing a human being around like a rag doll. Just
Yeah. No. It was crazy. And then that guy is 100% fine.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the thing I wanted to talk about. So The Rock interrogates and finds out where Shaw's hiding, and they're going to infiltrate Shaw's place. Now, they go to Shaw's hideout with no discretion at all.
None.
Like, literally, there are hundreds of police officers on the ground with cars, sniper rifles,
lights, everything.
Yeah. There's
all
an
around
army of cops outside.
around Shaw's hideout. Meanwhile, Shaw is inside.
Yes.
And they start putting on a wire on this guy that The Rock beat the shit out of. And in plain view, Shaw's a smart guy. Like, I don't even know what they were doing here.
No, it is the most ill-conceived operation
Yeah.
you've ever seen.
You sort of just wonder why not all just go in.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need him to go into ID Shaw first.
Who cares?
Right.
Who cares?
Who cares if
But
it's
I will
not
say,
him?
I loved the car chase that followed this sequence.
That was amazing.
Where Shaw and I'm obsessed with the blonde lady.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
obsessed with
She's
blonde lady
incredible.
driver who was such a bad so Shaw's driving this really low slung car.
Claire Paget.
So good.
That car is amazing. That has the thing on the front where you can just plow through anything.
It was like
So
a
he
better
can-
version of the Batmobile.
Yeah, so he can hit other cars and flip them up and start using other cars as weapons.
Yes.
It was incredible.
That was unbelievable. And then when
By the
when
way,
it
that would be-
doubled and there was another one with the blonde lady, I was like, this just went into the best movie.
And can I say that's like 15 minutes in? That would be like the end of most movies.
Yes.
I turned to June at one point in the movie. I said, when they got to the tank sequence, I was like, June, this movie's only been going on for 90 minutes. Like,
Yeah.
They have so much action in the first 90 minutes of the movie that it's like, it's more action than like 3 action
It
movies.
is nonstop.
It's so great, and these movies, especially this one and the last one, I think, and I thought the first one was fantastic. But you do not. You get every penny when you go and buy a ticket for these. Every penny's worth.
Yes.
They're so kick-ass.
And
Yeah. I have one penny I'd like back.
Oh, really?
I do feel, I'm sorry to talk about story again, but the whole pre-credit sequence is about Paul Walker and his son.
Yes.
And him having
Getting out of
given
the
up
life
the
of
life
crime.
and getting out of the life. And so I felt we were again primed for this story that never really happened.
Well, no, can I argue that Paul Walker's thing is setting up family is important, and family is the through line.
And that Letty is family. And that the only reason to go back isn't for another score. It's more money or whatever. It's for family.
And he has
to
a
make it
baby
right.
and a wife who is clearly starving.
Yeah.
And which leads to why Fast and Furious 7 is going to be great, because now they have to protect the family from this assassin.
I love
Chef
that.
Chelios.
I fucking hope that this movie comes out tomorrow.
I
want to see Fast 7 immediately.
Oh, it's so fucking good. There was one thing I just wrote down. There's really no way to segue into it besides saying, if I could see Ludacris speak Spanish for an entire movie, I think I would love it.
Right.
Just the only person I've ever seen speak Spanish without doing an accent. It's just like Ludacris just saying Spanish. I don't know why I wrote it down, but I loved it so much.
It was amazing.
I have a note I wrote that says, "Why did they give a shit about Interpol being taken down?" I kind of remember a scene where Vin Diesel is all of a sudden like, "Wait a second, are they going to take down Interpol?"
Yeah.
And they all why do these guys give a shit?
These are
It makes no
criminals.
sense.
Yeah.
It's like they're like, well, that's the moment where they're like, well, he lured us all the way out here just so they could hit Interpol. You guys go that way, and I'm gonna go after
Right.
Shaw.
But you're right. There's no sense throughout in the movie that like they are in over their heads. Like they've
No.
never done anything on this scale.
Their whole plan goes to shit. Like their entire plan. And Paul Walker's like, we do what we do best.
Yeah.
Improvise.
Did I tell
Like
you,
what?
The only comedy scene that really did fall flat for me was when the English like butler character.
Oh, the cars, the
Oh.
auctioneer.
Yeah, when they had that man stripped
That was bad.
down.
Yeah.
That was uncomfortable.
That was uncomfortable.
Because basically what happens is, again,
You guys
don't-
are just weird about human sexuality.
Sorry.
You know, that was
Yep.
just a real erotic show.
Super weird.
The Rock and Ludacris team up, which is also a weird, like,
Yeah.
why did they team up? It should have been The Rock and Tyrese. They team up to go buy all the cars from Shaw? Was it Shaw's
No, no,
car?
no.
Yeah,
They needed cars to pimp out, and Ludacris wanted these old snazzy cars.
Oh, okay.
Rather than what The Rock was offering, which was BMW off-the-line BMWs.
Got it.
So,
Okay.
because what they needed, right, were cars that didn't have chips in them. So they needed old cars that don't have chips.
Oh, right, because he could shut down all
Because
those
they could
cars.
shut down all those new cars with chips.
Got it.
This is crazy because I got none of that. I was just
I
like
also didn't.
I didn't either, Adam.
spacing out until the next.
Yeah.
There literally is.
So they went to an antique car auction, basically, and got old cars that wouldn't have chips, right? That's what I assumed.
No, you're actually very right. That when you say it, it makes sense. I did not get that from the movie.
Yeah.
I thought they
Neither
were
did
buying
I.
Shaw's cars, and then so basically the butler guy who was selling, he really is dressed like a butler, and he's like, kitchen staff to the back.
Oh, my God.
And they're like, whoa, we're not kitchen staff. We're here to buy these cars, you asshole. And you know he doesn't really believe them. And then they buy all the cars, and then the guy.
At first, you think they're going to steal them.
Oh,
which
yeah.
and because The Rock is going, don't steal these cars.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
you steal these cars. And I was like, ooh, the next action sequence is going to be stealing these cars. And instead, they just bought them.
They bought them all, and then oddly, the auctioneer comes to like do the final payment at their secret bunker where they have all
Yeah.
their cars. So he brings in all their cars at the secret bunker, and he's like, "Well, if there's anything you need me to do, I'll do it for you." But now he's insulted them, so they go, "Yeah, we want your watch.
Yeah.
Okay, we want your shirt," and they make this like older white
But
actor.
it's so hard
Yeah.
because do they make? I also question like, why is this man doing that?
Yeah, the man shouldn't have done that. He should have said, "No, I have a dignity. You bought my fucking cars. I'm not
No,
going to strip
guys,
naked for
no.
you."
No, he must be humiliated.
And why? And why did they want?
Because
Why
he's
were these
fucking
two
too
men?
uptight and British, and he was a racist,
Well,
frankly.
he was a racist.
He was a racist.
Absolutely was a
He
racist.
was a racist.
Like he was a. Here's the
He was
deal.
a
He was a
total
racist,
racist.
and he got what was coming to him.
But why did they want him to take his clothes
That's
off?
what I'm
I didn't
confused
understand.
about. Yeah.
Sexual shame.
And then it was so
you know what
awkward
was-
watching him leave.
You know what was like a really just dumb, boring choice was when, just kind of going back to the beginning of the movie, when Vin Diesel goes to Paul Walker's like palatial country mansion where he's hanging out with his family, and shows him the photo and says, "Will you come with me to go on this incredibly dangerous mission?" And Paul Walker doesn't even think about it and just says yes, and his wife is just like, "Hey, you got to go. She's family." It's like, wouldn't it be interesting and not take any more time if she just struggles with it a little bit and kind of doesn't want her, he's in family life now. And
Yeah, they just had a baby.
4-month-old.
Yeah, it's like you could be killed. This is a dangerous.
Yeah.
This is a fucking crazy dangerous. Like, just, no, she's like the best wife ever. She's no complaints, no.
Oh
nothing.
yeah, no,
No.
she's cool with it. And again,
For a
she's,
girl, by the way, for a girl that Vin Diesel dated many years ago, and in between, Vin Diesel started dating Giselle, then broke up with Giselle.
Oh wait, he
I
and
didn't know
Giselle were
about
together.
Oh, and Fast Furious 4.
I didn't
Oh, I
Him
didn't
and
know that.
Giselle were together in 4.
Oh, I like that.
And then he got together with the next girl in 5.
oh, and he's not broken up at all about Giselle's death.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, then that girl comes that he was fucking in Brazil.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
The movie starts with him in bed with Brazilian police lady
From 5.
and you see like side boob. You see
Yeah,
the only
nice
bit of
side
side
boob.
boob. She then disappears for the rest of the movie.
The whole movie, except for one scene when they're going to kidnap the baby and Jordana Brewster.
Oh right, yeah, like a weird cutaway.
Yeah.
and then she shows up at the end to be like to Michelle Rodriguez, "You keep him out of trouble. He's your business now." And
Well,
he's like,
also at the beginning when they're in Sardinia or whatever, he gets the photo and she doesn't struggle with it all either. She goes, "If that was my husband, I'd go."
"Yeah,
Yeah.
Like, well,
Which
aren't you
made
guys living together? Like, this is a little...
Doesn't this call into question all of the commitment you've made to each
But you
other?"
see, that is
Yeah.
why this movie is fucking awesome. Everyone's like, I get it. No need for a fight. Let's go. I'm on your
By the
family.
way, is her husband missing?
Oh, yeah. Her
I
husband
didn't
was
know
a
that.
police officer. That was part of Fast Five.
Oh, I forgot.
Of course he's coming
I
back.
forgot.
Her husband had been a police officer who was going after corrupt people, and
Yes.
he was murdered. And so, in order to avenge his murder,
Or
she
so
became
we
a police
know.
officer.
Or so we know. He could be coming back.
Oh, what?
I'm just
I like
saying.
the sound of that.
No one dies.
No one can
No
die.
one dies.
Guys, this movie...
I want to keep talking forever.
it's so good.
It's amazing.
I'll just go around and just ask, who's your favorite character and why?
I gotta say, Giselle.
Giselle, mine as well.
Giselle all the way.
I was actually angry. I said at some point, I was like, I feel like they're not giving Giselle enough to do.
I know.
Because I thought I really like her character. I liked her in Fast Five. And I felt like she and Han were kind of like ignored in this one a little bit. So I do like
But
them.
she had such a great death.
She
I
had
mean, it
such
was
a
so
great death.
beautiful. It was like
was a
Greek
be-
tragedy
oh my God.
style, epic.
It was better.
It was unbelievable.
Better than everything.
Who's your favorite character?
The Rock. I thought he was. I thought he was. He was just better than he was in the last one. Like
Yes.
he's kind of figured. I just thought he was awesome.
He calls himself Franchise Viagra because they bring him into franchises
Yeah.
and reinvigorates him. And you know
G.I.
what?
Joe, he was, you know,
Yeah.
like same thing, right?
I'm
Did
going to
he
say...
coin that phrase himself?
Yes, he did.
Absolutely.
I am.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna go out and say that my favorite character in this one, I think Han had the most emotional
Really?
journey. Yeah,
Interesting.
he's not super showy.
Yeah.
No,
But
not.
he had a lot going on. He's a little shy sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Why is he always eating? Do you know that?
Oh, by the way, that
He's
was
always eating.
just like Brad Pitt in Ocean's 11.
Yes.
Yeah.
By the way, that was the best. There's
Or
a
just like Brad Pitt in every movie Brad Pitt's in.
babble. There's the big exposition scene where The Rock gets the whole team together. They can't even give you a camera on The Rock for the entire time because they know the audience is like, fuck the exposition.
Yeah.
They have they supplement it with just a joke about a vending machine and peanuts. Like
Yeah.
you can eat
Oh
those
my
peanuts.
God.
And then
Such an elaborate joke too.
Oh yeah, and then The Rock because guys, Tyrese has got a real sweet tooth. He's got a real sweet tooth. He really wants $100,000 bar or what? It's like
he
he's
likes
always
his
snacking.
sweets.
But Han is always like has a bag of chips. There's something weird about Han and eating.
We got to get into it in the next movie, guys.
Oh, guys.
Well, is it safe to say we'll see each other again at Fast 7?
Absolutely.
100%.
When was Fast Five 2 years ago or 1 year ago?
A year and a half, too?
Yeah, I feel like they're just churning these out. Let's see. I'm going to tell you right now.
I don't know, but it
It
was.
can't come quick enough.
It
Oh, yeah.
cannot.
Say.
This
No.
is.
Fast 5 came out in 2011. Fast 6 is now in 2013.
Yeah.
So
All right.
This is one of the best movies we've ever done.
Yeah, for
hands
sure.
down.
And I know, Adam, I know that I get what you're saying, Adam. I think that if I have to go Fast 5 or Fast 6, I probably would take Fast 5 just by a little bit because I feel like Fast 5 is the one where they figured out why it's so much fun. This one,
Yes.
they definitely pushed it.
Yes,
and they were
I
like,
liked
we
the
knew.
push.
Yeah, and I like the push too. Believe me, I'm saying this is like the difference between a 9 and a 10.
I will say this, and because I might agree in that, but because I really loved Brazil. In
Yes.
Fast
Yeah,
5.
me
I
too.
loved the favelas.
Me too.
I loved the
beautiful.
setting.
Yes.
The setting was amazing.
Yeah, I
this
agree.
was London, and it
is,
wasn't
yeah,
as
pretty
poppy.
dismal.
well,
Yeah.
because they were not really in London ever. They were always
Yeah.
like, it was always like they
Even
were
if
walking.
they were, it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's just not as
It didn't
cool.
seem to have the
Not as
same. I
exotic.
felt like they wanted like city to have those city driving kind of race
guys,
scenes and stuff.
Fucking Fast 7 is going to be in L.A. It has to be in L.A., and that would be
Yeah.
great.
Oh yeah, Chev Chelios
Come
in
back?
LA, coming to fucking kick ass. I mean, if Justin Lin is out, why not Neville Dean and Taylor? How
It
do we
would
get
be
this
amazing.
done?
We know them. We got to tell them, guys.
Got to call Brian Taylor.
I mean, that's, whoever takes on this franchise, that's a very, very tough movie to make. It's a tough.
Do you think they should let us write it?
If they let us write, if Universal would let us write that
Giselle's
movie,
coming back.
Like, let's start
Oh.
a campaign. Our fans should start a campaign to let the hosts
Let
of How
us-
Did This Get
Yes.
Made write Fast 7.
Okay.
oh my God, it would be the best. Oh, it would be so good. I would
It
love
would be
to write
incredible,
this.
and it would be like a serious,
Oh, yeah.
serious
Deadly
Fast
serious.
7 movie. too.
I will say that I've asked my agent when this movie was cast. I was like, anything.
Oh, yes, I did the same.
Anything, I will do it. I will walk across a fucking scene. I don't care. It's so
That'd be
good.
amazing.
Just so you guys know, coming up on June 6th, Adam is the starring in another one of the greatest event in the history of television. It's back for a second episode on Adult Swim at 12 o'clock. It's going to be very good. You, Amy Poehler. It's going to be awesome. Very excited about that.
Co-starring Paul Scheer and written by Paul Scheer and myself.
Co-written. Yeah, co-written by the two of us. It's going to be fun. I'm very excited.
Awesome.
Jason, The Dictator is out on Netflix.
Oh, it is? Oh, nice.
Yeah, so you can definitely check it out.
Are you still in that cut?
Yeah, I'm still in it. Still in The Dictator.
Fantastic.
If you want to check
You
it
know
out.
what, Jason? I checked, and you are still in it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Good,
Still in The
good,
Dictator, so check that out, guys.
June, you can see June, Burning Love, Season 2, Season 3. It's all online. All right, that is all for us. See you next time.